Everybody, how you doing? It's Michael again, and here we are, summertime. It's very hot, and now we are, I guess, kind of cooling down a little bit on the news things. There's more investigations going on. Things seem to be a little calmer this week. I don't know if that's going to be a consistent issue. We'd like to be, but you know how that goes. What I like, I can't get anyway, so. Alright, here we are. It's summertime, June 21st, and that just happens to be my birthday as well. So happy birthday. And I want to kind of look at some of the things to where, if you look at how our society is being shaped, I guess we have to look at it to the point of saying, well, if it's going to be in the direction that's going to improve everybody, then what we need to do, is take that time to explain. And that's what I'm doing. After these many years, I want to be able to be a help. Because my parents were, and this is what I've learned over time, because like I said earlier, I'm a product of what my parents are. And, I was born in 1956. And in 1956, the average income was $4,226. That's like a month's pay now. for those that can get that, and then, it's all tentative from there. New house was like $12,000. Didn't know if that was a 2-bedroom, 3-bedroom, didn't say. But, the issue is that the times have now put us in a situation to where, we can't see the type of future that we would like because of all the detrimental things that are happening all around us. If it's not the healthcare issue, it's going to be, your Social Security. And if it's not going to be your Social Security, it's going to be your ability to pay your taxes and your houses. Everything now is being dismantled as to what we had seen as a good gesture towards the country and kind of like a goodwill towards the whole world. Because it was always, hey, be accepting, come and let's work with each other. Now see, if I understand correctly, and from my time since this 1956 era, when the Brown versus Board of Education and civil rights and all these things were coming into play, as compared to now, when you see all these things being taken away, you begin to see, but you don't see, because you don't want to see. But when it affects you, then you want to cry. It's like I said before. Well, what did you expect, Mr. Smoker? Did you think that using drugs and various kitchen detergents and things would leave your teeth intact? Did you think that was possible? So at some point, even the one analogy of your brain on drugs. I mean, cool. I'm aware of what drugs can do. I'm a prime example of what drugs can do. If I'm mad, somebody should probably put that down on their shout out. And again, thank you again for the shout outs. Maybe, I tell you what, everybody, please do some subscribing to my channel here. Try to help a brother out. So, what we're going to do here is continue to communicate, because we're going on now. This is number 25. This is the 25th week of communicating. And if by now you haven't noticed that there are a lot of things to talk about. So why are communities and cultures at such odds? When in a sense I haven't been talking about why the guy down the street don't mow his lawn. Or, why is it your families became, a criminal because, your son shot somebody up? Or you're Arabs or something. I don't know. I don't know what the deal is, and I really don't care. Because the issue comes to me as, how do we move forward and say, well, let's do what we were tasked to do, right? Because when you look at what the Master says, you have to say, well, wait a minute. I have to get over these other issues in order to be compliant with my own Creator. Because again, we did talk earlier about these positioning issues. You know, understand? Everybody has a place. Remember mine down there? Okay, you're sitting on mine, on my place. But at this point, the communication. And let's take my awareness of society and this life to this point as compared to the point that I grew up in. Because again, when I was younger, I'm a target of people calling me nigger and paintballing me, running and cursing at me because they don't like me. But we've talked about that. But see, the whole issue is, just like I said to a friend of mine the other day, what's the problem? Why do these people do these things? Is it because they didn't grow up the way I did? I believe that's the case. Is it because of the fact that their parents didn't teach them what my parents taught me? How to respect, how to have reverence for your Creator, and to have a belief that you can stand on, and that you're cemented in, and that you'll die for? That's what I'm going to die for. What you going to die for? Your hair? Your extensions? Because you're gay? Yeah, go ahead. You do that. But understand, the consequences are dire now. Yeah, it may have calmed down a little bit this week, but I still see, I actually saw something I had not seen on video. Guy was driving down the street in a motorcycle, and all of a sudden he kicks the car. The dude's, he's recording, hits the dude's car. The dude's bike slows down, but the guy's car swerves, bam, hits the rail. You understand, the divider here, slams, goes back the other way, and the guy on the bike slows all the way down. And he takes off that way, gets away, while this guy swerves this way, hits another guy's truck, flips the guy's truck over, and now he's in the hospital. He's all scarred up and everything else, and the guy got away. But they find him later because he's some kind of big shot white supremacist on a motorcycle. He's tough. But look what happens. And see, this is where the rebellion comes in. You see, for us that are not in that bracket of 250,000 and above, to where some sort of a comfort level has to come in at that place, because you see, at that point, your rent and all these smaller issues are irrelevant. Because now you have maybe 3 times the amount of money for rent, 10 times the amount of money for rent. But let's just say your car got demolished. Oh, at $250,000 a year, I can go buy another car. Like that. Unless, of course, you were living so far above your means that at some point $250,000 a year isn't enough. It wasn't enough for Kurt Cobain. Suicide guy, rock star. Just like this other guy he just got through dying not too long ago. I guess these people just don't get it. They just must have too much money. I'm hoping to have that problem soon. But not it. But listen, summertime people, new types of weather jumping off. Because when I was growing up, used to be we could run around outside. It would rain. Man, we'd have all kinds of fun. Go out to the lake. There was plenty of water. Not like now. We're getting some water this year, but I see Dust Bowl because of the changes and the intense weather. And I believe that the disasters, again, I think I said this before, but there's going to be a lot of disasters, and it's going to kind of bankrupt the country. And especially those people that are up in the hills, you guys better move. Yeah, you don't want to be up there. It's not going to work. Summer's here, and the time is right for dancing in the street. Martha and Eddie. good renditions of dancing in the street. You know what I'm saying? Because summertime gives you this issue of, kids out, a lot of things to do, warm weather, everybody's in the street. And that's cool. But for me, it was always some sort of a chance to catch up on work and other things because, from being in the construction business, summertime is good. It's steady work. Things are going all the time. When it starts October and stuff starts raining in and out unless you've got, roof over you and everything. So things changed a lot. But, I'm kind of glad just to be here every year, even though I'm not working as hard as I was. But at this point, we're looking at a social structure as well as a time in life where all of a sudden summer isn't so comfortable anymore. And that's kind of funny because, you would think that, man, when is it going to level out? But, it leveled out for those times that made those millionaires and those billionaires. And the rest of us really didn't get a chance to get any part of that. But, like my master said, see, these people have their heaven already. They got all the money in the world. So, what I'm suggesting now is that we focus. Because now, I'd like to really get into some training type thing. Because I'm under the impression that when you talk to somebody one-on-one, you can help them. I know I can, simply because I know enough now to know what I did wrong in life, to correct it, and put it on a better path. And there's no degree for this. And I can guarantee there's not a sociologist, psychologist, any isms or nothing like that, that can take the type of experience that it would take to be, military, defense contractor, prison, family, death of all types of relatives, sickness, illness, injuries, recovery, discoveries, and being in the time in life where you've seen some of the most fantastic things that have ever happened. And I don't know if I told you guys about that cave in Vietnam. I am still amazed about that whole thing. I should probably get the name of it next time. I'll probably look, but it'll probably be. But you need to check into this because one of the issues that I am very, very, very understanding is the fact that right now I believe that this social issue is creating a false future. And the reason why I say that is because in this society, this leader of global enterprise and understanding is leading us down a wrong path, and I believe this is where the many will be deceived. You see, because for some reason or another, this society believes that, again, like I said before, that going into space and doing this stuff is more relevant than finding out what are in our oceans, where we are currently. Nobody spends this kind of money on the ocean. And to get that crud out of there and let our larger creatures live without pain and suffering, you're going to pay for that. But see, that's what we should do. And this is what I'm communicating about. You see, because I believe, without a doubt, that at some point right now, we have a choice. Either we rebel or we go along with these wealthy people. And we turn this place into a crap hole simply for some money. I say we do the Gene Roddenberry right now. We take all the money away and we stop the greed. Think about it. Just like I said about the political party. You know as well as I do. There's more of the poor than there are the rich. So why does that scenario not work in a political atmosphere? Think about this. Let us look at the fact that at some point or another, animal preserves. I personally am going to go put one of my little projects together at the animal preserve. And I guarantee you won't lose no more animals, no more elephants. Nobody's getting another a rhino horn. Okay? Why? Because we now have the technology to do anything and everything we want. The problem is, who is using that technology? We're the smartest people in all of existence right now. I know I am. I know I can solve hunger. I know I can solve homelessness. I know I can solve all kind of problems. But see, I'm not the one. I'm not the one that's being listened to. You guys are listening to Donald Trump. You see, and that's why I'm saying you're being led down the wrong path. Go right ahead. See, because I'll outlive you. Because whatever my parents did, and whatever I learned, and again, what my parents taught me was to, I'm going to use this scripture of, raise a child in the way that they should go, so when they are older, they won't depart from that word. And my mother used that word as the word of God. See, my dad, like I said, right and wrong, that's all he know. That's it. My mother, it's only one way. Don't want to hear what you're talking about. My dad, well, what you got? One way or another, it's only going to be this way or this way, right? It's going to be right or it's going to be wrong. And the reason why he liked Bunny so much, that was what he called my mom, was because she was always right. Anything went wrong, my dad like, whoo, we ain't doing wrong. We're not going the wrong way. See? So, Bunny was doing everything right. Mom did pretty much everything right. And whatever happened, I have it. And I thank God for that. Because I'm looking at it like this. The era that I was born in, there was a good time to be had. A gallon of milk was 22 cents. Dozen eggs, 60 cents. Minimum wage was $1. Okay? First class stamp, 3 cents. Man. You know. But the one thing that I noticed on this and a lot of the events that were happening at that point, the only thing that I do remember was the fact that the black community was still being killed at the time I was being born. And now here we are again, 60 some odd years later, being shot. I call that a hostile environment. And if the state can't stop it, don't expect me to live here. I'm not going to have it. See, I have a way out. Why? Because I've been blessed with the wisdom to do so. So, I'm going to keep this short because nobody wants to hear about me anyway. God bless you. Thank you. Enjoy your summer. I want to say that I appreciate the shout outs. And again, like I said, if you guys please, I want to see what's going to happen if I can ask if you subscribe to this channel. I'm going to be doing this for the rest of the year, but you know something? I believe there's a venue here that could help a lot of people. So I want to see if that can work, even though I feel negated. But I also feel there's one or two people here that might be able to benefit. And you know how it goes. One or two, it's all well worth it. I think so. So it's up to y'all how you want to do it. But I want to pray for you, and please pray for me, and continue to understand, because remember, them people that are wanting to cut off that health care, and those people that continue to just demonstrate Donald Trump behavior, those are the Christians. I'm not a Christian. I am a disciple. Okay? And I wait on my comforter to tell me what to do. I suggest you do the same thing. Actually, I'm thinking we should probably break away from these so-called Christians because I think they've lost their minds. What? Wait a minute. They can be Jews now. There you go. Why not? Just handle it like that. Just convert. And then, we can kind of take it from there. Because the scriptures are the scriptures and the law is the law. You follow one law, you can get a better way to the next law. You should just follow the law, you got it made. So anyway, thank you, people. Good summer. Blessings to you kids and families. And happy birthday.